Graham, it was obviously a disappointing end of the Six Nations, but where do you think England are in their development towards a team that can win trophies ultimately?
We'd won our last 5 games previous to Saturday, and they were big opposition. It certainly was a dent to what we've been doing. Would have been nice to have got that, but we have to learn what went wrong. 60 minutes, we're still in the game, but that last quarter of the game just got away from us. We have to learn from that, but also, just in my department, I need clarification on why those penalties were given around the scrum and breakdown, because I need to tell the lads what to do better, because I was dismayed after watching the game again, but we'll do that in the correct process with the IRB.
So what lessons have you learned from that defeat, and how important is it to set those in the context of everything else England have achieved in the last 8 weeks?
What we have shown the last 15 months, never mind the last 8 weeks, is we learn quickly. So we have to capture what we've learned Saturday night in terms of dealing with pressure, being starved of possession and keeping hold of the ball in the right area of the field. So we have to learn from those perspectives very quickly. And as I say, knowing the players as we do, we will learn and we'll move on quickly, because we've all got Argentina, all the lines to focus on.
Whenever you talk to the players in the build-up to a game about the fundamentals they've got to get right, they all talk about the set piece and the breakdown and physicality first of all, which are all your areas. First of all, the scrum. How do you think England's scrum developed and performed throughout the Six Nations?
We were under a lot of pressure, and if you look at the experience that we put on the field every game compared to the opposition, we're always more inexperienced, but the guys have got a lot of courage. So we've learnt a lot in that set piece, and we've had good times, we've had bad times, but those bad times we've always learnt from and moved on and backed it up with a good time. So that encourages me, but I know where we are as a group and I know where we have to improve, and so do the boys.
Did that Wales game demonstrate, for whatever reason, that if your scrum's not going well, you still can't win international rugby games? Because the pressure that Wales exerted there and managed to key junctures in the game meant that it was very difficult for England. Look at that 9 penalty that made it 9-3 at the end of the first half, for example.
Most of Test rugby these days is all about the small margins, breakdown, set piece. So you have to be clinical there and be positive. And we are quite a positive team at scrum. In fact, very positive. We want a good contest, we want playable possession. And we have to look at Saturday night and say, well, what can we do better? What can I do better as a coach? It's the first thing I ask myself after the game. What can we do better as a group? But on the back of that, as I've just said already, I need clarification on some of those decisions to help me tell the lads how to perform better.
Does that apply to the breakdown as well? In that game against Wales, again, there was some perhaps interpretations that were surprising at certain times.
Yeah. Very. I think both teams learned fairly quickly in the game that competing for the ball was not going to be possible that night, which is fine. We adapted. I think we saw both captains approach the referee and realise that. So what we are doing, we're learning in different games, different environments, different stadiums, different pressures. We're learning, but all we have to do as coaches is make sure we capture those learnings and move on.
Talking about learning, obviously you're hoping lots of players go with you to the Lions. What will it mean to potentially a young pack going to Argentina who are ferocious at the set piece and ferocious at the breakdown?
I think it's a fantastic opportunity for a lot of guys who would have finished frustrated on Saturday night. It's another carrot for them. And for us as a group, it's another chance to probably have a look at another layer of depth. Because hopefully, as I say, we'll take some guys on the Lions. But I think there's a lot there to play for. And our group now, our EPS group, we pretty much know the players we want to work with now for the next couple of years moving forward. But there's a few positions there where there's opportunities for us to look at other people, especially on the summer tour.
Will you ever be able to look back on the Wales game as a priceless experience, this England team? As you go forward, the ultimate aim is obviously to win the World Cup in 2015. Mike Catt was hinting just a moment ago that you learn more from a defeat than you do from a victory. Our
ultimate aim is to win the World Cup, but we also want to win every bloody game we play in. That's just fact. It's still sore at the moment to lose a game where we could have won everything and come away with nothing. It's disappointing, but we know this group and we will move on.